Hey everyone, this is Alan from EV News, and today I want to talk to you guys about my #1 stock pick. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know that it's ProTerra. So I have an actual funny story of how I actually got to invest in it yesterday when it came to market. So I was driving my car around like 7 in the morning and I get a text from one of my subscribers and one of my friends, Sarab. So I see it pop up on the screen. So I pull up the text message and it says like, hey, ProTerra's now come to market, like invest. Because he knows I'm very bullish and I really like ProTerra. So what I did is I immediately got into my portfolio and invested into ProTerra. So my average in ProTerra is just around like $19 per share. So before I get into the video of why I like it, I'd just like to say thank you so much to Sarab. You guys go ahead and hit like and subscribe. Let's get into this video. So if you've been following me for a while, then you know that I'm extremely bullish and very optimistic about ProTerra. So I even wrote an article about ProTerra in September 13, 2020. They just came to market yesterday, January 12th of 2021. So I was already like 4 months ahead, almost 5 months, 4 months ahead, looking forward to invest in ProTerra as soon as they came to market. So I wrote a lot of the reasons why I like them. So I want to get into the 3 reasons why I like them. So the #1 reason is because they are very diversified in their product. They don't only just make the electric buses, they're actually specialized as well in energy. So they have the charging stations and energy storage units for these electric buses. And then they also manufacture their own electric batteries. So they just opened their battery manufacturing facility in LA as of December 10th, 2020. So they're pushing their electric batteries. And now this is key to note that ProTerra actually owns 50% of the electric buses in North America. That's important to note moving forward. And not just that, they actually have this like battery as a service system where they sell their batteries to other companies and other countries as well who are pushing their own electrification of their public transportation. So they have a really great diversified portfolio where they don't only just make buses, they also make the batteries and the charging stations. Another reason why I really like ProTerra is because of the SPAC that they just merged with is called Arclight Clean Transition. So it's ACTC, and that's the ticker that you can invest in today is under ACTC. Well, they have a really great leadership team. So they've already made the announcement, of course, that ProTerra, they're merging with ProTerra and that ProTerra is becoming a public company. So it's great news. But their leadership team that they have is quite impressive. Their management team, but the one that actually I'm looking forward to and the reason why I'm very optimistic, of course, looking towards the future is because of Audrey Lee. So she is the director. She's on the board of directors with ACTC or Arclight Clean Transition. And when you go to her LinkedIn, she's actually the co-chair at Clean Energy for Biden. So she's going to be working on the board advising Biden in this big push for renewable energy sustainability and the electrification of our public transportation. So if you haven't heard, in another video, I mentioned that Biden is in fact in the new administration is putting $400 billion towards this push of renewable energies and electrification of the public transportation and of vehicles. So the future is looking very optimistic and it's looking very good. And you have Audrey Lee on the board of ProTerra now. So they just have such a great outlook towards the future in terms of their leadership team as well. And then another reason why I'm very bullish and I like ProTerra is because in my article that I wrote, I actually mentioned that, well, not only do they push buses, but like universities are also starting to bring buses to their campuses. They're moving into school buses and also last mile delivery vehicles as well. So they make the big powertrain electric batteries for that as well. But one of the big reasons why is because countries are finally moving towards their own sustainability goals. So for example, like this is in 2020, August of 2020. So Panama canceled their order for diesel buses and will purchase 195 electric buses. Mexico City on September 8th, 2020, they finally deployed its first electric bus, right? So that's huge news. So another thing is Moscow's fleet of 450 e-buses to grow to 2,600 by 2024. So not only is it starting to happen here in the United States, but this is a global revolution towards the electrification of public transportation. And then the last reason, and one of the big reasons why, is because even in 2019, ProTerra was also already considered like the Tesla of electric buses. So Now, I want to go ahead and compare ProTerra to the other three like electric bus companies that are currently on the stock market, and where I think like a foreshadowing of where ProTerra is actually going. Remember, I mentioned earlier that they own 50% of all electric buses in North America already. So the first company that I want to talk about is BYD. They are a Chinese company. And you can see they have the battery electric buses and coaches. So China is so far ahead when it comes to the electrification of their public transportation. So I read something along the lines of like only like 12% or 15% of electric buses around, or all buses around the world are actually electric. And of those percentage, like 99% of them are in China. So China is way ahead in pushing the electric batteries or electric buses. So, and as you can see, BYD wins the largest pure electric bus order outside of China, and they won a bid for 1,002 buses in Bogota, Colombia. So this big push for the electrification, like I mentioned, is happening, and it's happening. Here we go. This is as of yesterday, January 12th of 2021, BYD wins this large order for buses. So if we look at BYD stock, they're currently sitting at $66.26. Okay, so ACTC or ProTerra right now is at under $24. Another company is Green Power Motor Company. So what they're doing is just the electrification of the actual school buses, which ProTerra is doing that as well. And they are currently sitting at $30, almost $30 per share. And then another company that I hear a lot of and everyone seems to be very bullish on is Lion Electric, which is ticker NGA. And well, they make more than just electric buses, but that is one of their specialties, and their focuses is on the all-electric school bus. So this company is becoming pretty big in Canada, of course. I think they're based out of Quebec, so there's a lot of hype as well as optimism coming from them. And if we look at their stock, they're currently sitting at $30.20. So those are the three companies that we can actually use as kind of like a guidance to see where ProTerra is going. And like I mentioned, ProTerra already owns 50% of all electric buses in North America. So I believe they're going to be much higher than NGA and much higher than Green Power, which both are sitting $5 higher than what ProTerra is today. So for me, this is a long-term hold. I absolutely adore ProTerra and all the work that they're doing. They already have ProTerra buses in the city here that I live in, and I know that they've expanded to like national parks and stuff like that as well. So I mean, even the name is ProTerra, which is like for the earth. So I really, really love this company, and I've been waiting so long. As soon as my friend Sarav told me that it came to market, I immediately invested, and I have a really nice position. I invested quite a bit of money into ProTerra. So with that being said, I believe it's a good hold and a nice long-term hold. I can see this stock moving close to competing with like BYD in the future, and we know BYD is sitting in the 60s. So I don't like to guess where the stock is going. We just let things happen as they do. But ProTerra is a leader for sure in the electrification of our public transportation. And I think it's going to be a massive thing moving forward, since public transportation is one of the largest polluters that we have, right? So if we can go all electric, we're going to do better for the world. So you guys, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you're just as excited as I am about ProTerra. See ya.